This is Channel 7, the #1 station for news and information in Southern California. And now the latest breaking eyewitness news with Paul Moyer, Ann Martin, Harold Green with sports, Dr. George with the weather, and the Eyewitness News team.
Hello, everyone. Channel 7 program manager Ron Scoop Wilson has barricaded himself in his office because of a major reporting blunder. Jess Marlowe reports.
Last month, Eyewitness News mistakenly reported on the merits of the Fifi Fazul Funtime Daycare and Learning Center. Ignoring suspicions and basic news-gathering routine, we lauded the school and rained praise on the elderly principal, Miss Fifi Fazul, for her wonderful organization. Our reports resulted in a sharp increase in young enrollees. It has come to light, however, that the school is merely a front for a child slave ring headed by Fifi Fazul and her gang, the Agini Babes. In our earlier report, camera crews visited the so-called school and were greeted by a cheerful staff and smiling children. In the center of it all was the white-haired Fifi Fazul. On the surface, the school seemed quite legitimate. It appeared well-staffed with a better than 1-to-1 student-teacher ratio. The children were never allowed to wander far from their tutor, and each one had a specific tutor assigned to them. We were told that the curriculum was structured in such a way as to best prepare the children for a successful life in the real world.
Okay, children, now we're going to learn the hokey pokey. You put your foot in, you put your left foot in, you put your right foot in, you put your left foot in, then take it all about. Okay, everybody.
The children were allowed to walk the spacious grounds of the center, but never without a staff escort. We were told this was part of the school's supervision program. We weren't told, however, that the children were handcuffed to their escorts. All looked quite normal. Well, almost normal. Some of the activities seemed strange, but we were told that they were the latest in progressive Montessori teaching techniques. So who knew? After the film session, the children were hustled into the spacious dining hall for a hot meal, an Italian dish called Bambino Parmesan. After the feature aired, the switchboard began to light up with calls from parents wishing to enroll their children. Channel 7 contacted the center to arrange for the children to be picked up. The children were never heard from again. Feeling that the children's disappearance could simply be a remarkable coincidence, program manager Ron Scoop Wilson decided not to follow up the evidence. The case was cracked, however, by an anonymous informer known only as Eddie.
Yeah, I was an Agini Babes, the only guy in the gang.
Why have you come forward at this time?
I was tired of Fifi's teasing and complaining. My hair was never right, my dress was too short, my hose wasn't straight. I began to hate her. I decided I'd fix her wagon, but I didn't want to go to the cops.
You must have feared for the children's welfare.
Nah, I hated those brats, too. They were always teasing me. I think Fifi encouraged them. She resented me because I was a guy. I just hope my testimony puts that brat away for a long time.
With the help of Eddie's testimony, the police were able to piece together enough evidence to bring charges against Fazul and her gang. More on this story as it develops. But now, here's John Schubeck with the national news.
Today was a busy day in Washington as waitresses stormed the Capitol protesting Reagan's recent increase in the tip tax.
We want bigger tips. We want bigger tips.
In a related story, CIA agents staged a march in the nearby Zodi's parking lot protesting recent cuts in their covert operations disguise budget. All the black units, called the KGN Spooks, felt they were hardest hit by the cuts since the only thing they had to supplement their disguise allotment were some pink fedoras and a platform shoes. President Ronald Reagan responded by saying,
"What's with those gentlemen? Always complaining about being treated unfair. Well, we declared war on Compton. The bombing begins in 5 minutes."
The president later apologized for his remarks, explaining that he never expected the ravings of a senile old coot to be taken seriously, even by a bunch of spooks. The agents vowed to toilet paper the White House later this evening.
And now, here is our own Ann Martin with more on the Fazul case.
Fifi Fazul and her gang, the Agini Babes, were brought up on formal kidnapping charges and appeared this afternoon in the Los Angeles County Courthouse for their arraignment. The all-girls gang refused to answer the questions of reporters as they climbed the steps of the courthouse.
Mr. Nard, would you care to comment about your trial?
Take off, poser. The Babes are being represented by Alan May, a professed lame lawyer. Our own Joe McMahon was at the courthouse today and filed this report.
Are the Agini Babes innocent?
Probably not. But that doesn't matter.
What matters is evidence, and frankly, there isn't very much. What have they got? Testimony of a transvestite and some news footage from Channel 7? I think these ladies will get off without a hitch. But what does it matter? I get paid either way.
We will keep you updated as developments occur. Joe McMahon reporting from the L.A. County Courthouse in Orange County. Back to you at the station.
Tonight's Healthline report with Dr. R.E. Lean investigates a rare childhood disease called time-lapse syndrome. Doctor?
Time-lapse syndrome, or TLS, is currently being studied at UCLA Medical Center. We spoke to Dr. Robert Adler about this disease.
TLS is a crippling disease that strikes at a very early age. Children afflicted with TLS are totally out of sync with real time. This makes life on this planet very difficult. To see the effects of TLS, take a look at one of our more severe cases.
Blow out the candle. There's still hope for TLS victims. They can always get jobs dubbing Japanese movies. Also, animal activists are up in arms again as genetic engineers produce the first cross-fertilization of a peacock and a human. Scientists are undecided regarding what to call the result of their experiment. Is it a P-man or a Q to lay an egg or wet its diaper? Florists, too, are up in arms as botanists conduct experiments dealing with the cross-pollination of poinsettias and mad dogs. Many of the plant spores have been found in neighboring gardens. Danger to children and flowers arrangers is great, and flower beds should be approached with caution.
In a totally unrelated story, L.A. Police Chief Gerald Gates was ousted from office today as the city appoints a new chief. Sasquatch Littlefoot was sworn in today at a ceremony in their backyard. I promise to uphold the duties of the office of police chief. I devout. And now, Jerry Bullethead Franklin with the Hollywood Beat.
Oh, I'm so excited. I just returned from the gala premiere of Little Drew Barrymore's autobiographical masterpiece, I, an Adorable Child, at Mann's Chinese Theater. All the luminaries were there to see Drew's directorial debut. Elton John's aunt, Elton Jean, was there. Miss Jean was accompanied by her son.
I loved it. Man, that Drew's a fop.
Drew greeted Biff at a post-premiere barbecue at her house in the Hollywood Hills.
Oh, thank you for coming. You're wonderful. I love you. I love you. Thank you.
Food was provided by our own Chef Cal, who prepared a meal fit for the queen of the screen. Truckloads of frankfurters and warm soda pop were flown in from the Bahamas and carefully ministered to by the well-trained hands of the master Chef Cal. I asked Drew's best friend, Spunky McFarland, great-grandson of the very late Spanky McFarland of our gang fame, what he thought of Chef Cal. He said that, when it comes to weenies, I won't let anyone touch mine but Chef Cal. Dinner music was provided by Myra Florin and her squeeze box. As the evening wore on, most of the children retired to the jacuzzi for a well-earned rest. I, for one, had a wonderful time. That Drew's really quite a hostess.
You seem to enjoy it.
Oh, yes, my favorite was the juggling clowns. I loved it.
Weird.
And now, Jeff Marlowe with more background on the Fazul case.
In hopes of nabbing the Agini Babes in the act of kidnapping, the police devised a plan of infiltrating the school. A police officer noted for his boyish face was recruited to go undercover, posing as a child, and enroll in the school. Once the officer gained entrance, what he found was shocking. The children were forced to do menial and back-breaking work.
Hey, Melonhead, watch that crap! Don't forget get the lead, you little rugrat. When you get finished here, you can go turn up the van.
The children were required to take care of all of the grounds, keeping everything neat and trim. Their day never seemed to end. Eyewitness News was asked to help gather evidence by supplying hidden cameras to film the babes in action.
Why, that guy can't know each other. Just ignore him. He's probably some weirdo.
The kidnappers often worked in pairs.
Hey, little girl! Just keep walking. Don't stop. You take the one on the left.
Any child was fair game for the Agini Babes.
You got it, little girl. You got it. Hey, let me go.
Hey, little boy! Little boy, you like candy? Here, come with me.
Baby.
Once the children were rounded up, they were weighed and sorted. Those that were able were put to work almost immediately. Those that were too small faced an even worse fate. Kept in cages, the small children were fattened up and prepared for a bizarre feast.
Hey, you ready for dinner? You're the main course.
You gonna run that by me again?
The plump children were first dipped in beaten eggs and then liberally breaded. Fifi preferred the seasoned crumbs preferred by most continental chefs. After breading, the child was stuffed.
Ah. Oh, you're stuffing the wrong end.
Children that grew too old to handle were dealt with in another way. Told they were playing a game, the children were unaware of what was to come. So, what's the name of this game?
It's called William Tell. Now put the can on your head and turn around. Okay, is the shotgun loaded? Wait till I get out of the way.
Other children were taken to the beach and then buried in the sand. Not realizing that they were below the high water mark, the unsuspecting kids smiled and laughed as the water slowly crept up to cover their little heads.
Say, the water's getting mighty close, isn't it?
Fifi's coffin-maker lover, Kiki Fave, often helped dispose of the evidence.
Okay, you lay down at the box. Don't move, and you get in the one next to in. Don't forget out what I tell you.
Don't worry, we won't leave the nails long. Bye-bye, little chump.
I told you not to move.
That's all right.
Once the police viewed the films taken by Eyewitness News, they felt it was time to move in on the gang. They devised an ingenious plan to trap the kidnappers. Inflatable baby decoys were designed and planted in strollers all around the city. An unmarked police car kept surveillance on each decoy, and when one was abducted, the police moved in and raided the daycare center. Our Eyewitness News cameras were there to capture the story. The spectacular police raid resulted in the arrest of the entire Agini Babes gang, who are now currently at LA County Court facing the grand jury on kidnap charges. The DA has said that he expects a verdict within the hour. And now, Harold Green with sports.
Thanks, Jess. You're going to love this story. The Polish people are gearing up for the Olympic events that might take place in their country someday soon. As you know, the Poles have never won a gold medal in anything. And here's our roving reporter in Poland, Morana Semski.
This is Marana Dumsky reporting to you from beautiful Mount Kilbasa in Poland. As you can see, the Polish uphill ski team training for that elusive gold medal. Notice the unique handling of the ski poles, or as they're known here, pole skis. Just a little Polish humor, Harold. Another event unique to Poland is the two-man downhill ski lift competition, where the game strategy is to win the toss and get into that front chair, which usually has the advantage.
What's the gaining on it? Maybe it's a rocket.
Poland is not the only country preparing for the Olympics coming up. Romania is also getting ready with their young kids, and here's our reporter in Romania, Rudolf Stretzman.
Hello, this is Rudolph, and I am here in the children's dome of the Presidio. Right now, the children are training for rhythmic gymnastics, which will become a full-fledged competition at the Games in Seoul. We are practicing now with what are called hula hoops, which we have bought from the U.S. War Department. The children have made Romania proud. In the regular gymnastics field, we are training young children, and we are looking, of course, for a brand new Nadia Comaneci. The old one is in the salt mines right now. At Noodle, young springboard divers. As you can see, they have wonderful form. Look at how happy our children are. And in platform diving, of course, we start from the low platform and then work the children up. This is called the shallow water competition. Most children only complete one of these dives successfully. Rudy, scratch my itch, Romania.
And that's it for the world of sports. And now back to you, Paul Moyer. Paul? Thanks, Harold. You're welcome, Paul. I'm glad, Harold.
A flood of UFO sightings have come in from around the globe. The first sighting was in the Sea of Japan, where a ship landed on a woman's head. Apparently, the ship draws power from the brain and is then able to sustain flight. However, when the mothership tried to attach itself to the president's head, it suffered a complete power failure, causing the other ships to detach themselves and flee back into space. And now, Dave Lopez with the lighter side.
This is Dave Lopez out in Main Street in Disneyland, where we have some good news and some bad news. Regarding the little boy who was burned in a fire by his dad, his name is David Rosberg. Well, his plastic surgery was finished. When he came to Disneyland the first time, he was all burned up, but now he's at Disneyland. However, his mama does not like what he came out looking like, because he looks just like Pinocchio.
Thank you, Dave, for that enlightening report. And now, there's a news commentation from Bill Press. Bill?
With the recent rash of kidnappings and other child abductions, parents should exercise extreme care in employing babysitters for their children. There is in this fair city an organization dedicated to the screening of potential babysitters for their children. This organization screens and stress tests each babysitter to make sure they hold up under the pressures of babysitting. Channel 7 News and its associates heartily endorse this babysitter.
Thanks for that report, Bill. The jury has just reached a verdict in the Fazul case. Joe McMahon in Orange County has the story.
This is Joe McMahon outside the L.A. County Courthouse in Orange County. Miss Fazul, let me ask you a question. How does it feel? I mean, are you happy that you've been acquitted?
Everything's hokey-pokey.
You mean okie-dokie?
No, hokey-pokey. Put your right foot in, put your right foot out, put your right foot in.
The children that have been waiting up all night for the verdict are visibly disappointed as they enter the press room. Along with the expression of sadness came a feeling of vengeance. Some chose to take the matter into their own hands. Immediately after the trial, Jess Marlowe spoke with the prosecuting attorney. Here is Jess's story. Jess? I spoke with the prosecuting attorney about rumors of an appeal. He said that he felt that they might have some evidence of jury tampering. It seems that many of the people that were on the jury and deliberated for long hours bore a striking resemblance to members of the Agini Babes. Upon further investigation, though, he felt that he really did not have enough evidence to warrant a full appeal, and has decided instead to let the verdict stand as it is. Upon hearing the verdict, program manager Wrong Scoop Wilson promptly tore down the barricades and emerged from his office triumphant. Please disregard all the previous newscasts regarding the Funtime Daycare Center. And now, with a report, here's Ann.
In keeping with the policy to hire the handicapped, First Lady Nancy Reagan hired these two retards to help paint the White House. They have an unnatural aversion to low-flying birds, hence the number 7 Safeway sacks. Let's have a big Channel 7 hooray for the handicapped. That's it for this evening's news. But join us tomorrow as we visit the Home for Children with Lumpy Feet as they celebrate Christmas. Stay tuned for World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. And now, we leave you with a sneak preview of Calvin Klein's new line of leisure wear. Have a good evening.